Hi everyone, Danya here, and kind of in shock that it's already going to be September, or it is September when you all see this video, as I am taping it in late August. The Stamps of Life has released the new club set Holly Wreath to Stamp, and it's this beautiful big holly wreath for your Christmas or your holiday cards. It says Joy, Merry Christmas, Season Greetings, Holly Jolly, and they all fit right in the center of this wreath, and this beautiful bow that you could use to adorn the wreath or some other Christmas card, or actually you could use that year-round on almost anything. And if you're in the Die Hard Club, you will get the dies that go with the set. And I went ahead and colored one. I watercolored one, and I'm going to be doing another one here on this video so you can see how I did the process, and we'll put a card together. So let's get started. Okay, before I get started, I just want to continue with the saga of the stained platform. I did get the stain out, but unfortunately I also took the finish off. Nail polish remover gets the stain out, but it ate away through the paint. I tried painting it over with something and it didn't really work. So now I have this whatever, it's scarred. Scarred for life. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know, because I know I've been talking about that, and I just, I figured I'd try nail polish remover, but I guess it's better that than that big orange stain I had. Okay, I went ahead and stamped out the images. These are the ones that come in the club set. These two here are from the coordinating set, More Holly Wreath to Stamp, and I just threw those in there to use up this piece of paper. But those are the other set that coordinates. I don't know if you can see that. See all that? Okay, so that complements this other set. Now I stamped everything with archive ink because I'm going to use the watercolor markers. And that's what I did on my other one that I showed before. I'll show it again. I did it with the watercolor markers. Now the paper is Bristol Smooth, and the samples I sent into the Stamps of Life, I used the tri-blend markers, and that works really well too. But the only thing with the tri-blend markers is that it took me too long because it was back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So for this image, I find it easier to use the watercolors. Now it's very simple. I don't think about it too much. All I did was grab the green apple and the spearmint and a piece of cloth and my water pen. And what I do, if you haven't seen me do this before, is I lay down the color on the edge where I think or I believe it's going to be the darkest. And then I take my water brush that's nearly dry. It's almost like a thirsty brush. There's really no water gushing out. And I just move the color out with the water and then just leave it alone. Let's try it with the spearmint. Let's try it again. I had already started this because I wanted to see what the spearmint and the green apple look like next to each other. To see, just, I don't know, something different. I'm always trying different things to see how they make me feel, to see if it's something that I would like to do in the future. And then leave it alone. And let's do another one in spearmint. Again, lay the color down where I believe it's going to be the darkest. And then just go over it with the brush. The nice thing about the Bristol Smooth paper is that it allows the ink to flow, and you do not get the bumps that you get with watercolor paper unless you use the smooth, but that's a little bit more expensive. I think it's called the hot press. It's I mean, you can find it online, but it's a little bit more expensive. This Bristol Smooth stuff is really inexpensive, and you can buy a big pad of it at any craft store or online. I mean, a pad of it lasts me forever because I think it's like 9 by 12. And I just cut it up as I need it. So that's pretty much what I do. I just put the color down and push it out. And then once it dries, you could always go back and add more. Now, this one here is dry because I did this a while ago. So now I'm going with the green apple here. And I can add more color if I want to make it deeper. So if I want more of a contrast, I could always go back and add more color. Just wait till it dries before you do that. Okay? And then I'm just going to continue doing that same thing all the way around. I'm not going to sit here and do this whole thing because it'll bore you to death, because it does take a while. So then I'll be back and we'll color the bow together. Okay, so we got all the green, and I started the red cherries, and I just wanted to do that here on screen for you so you could see how I did it. Oh, again, same concept. Laid down color. The more color you lay down, the richer or deeper it'll look. And the less color you put down, the more watercolory it's going to look. And you can leave white spots if you want to make it look like the highlight of the berry. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside to dry. And we're going to do the bow. Okay, I want to make sure that I'm in screen. I got everything moved around here, and hopefully you're catching it. Okay, now this is a big image. So you're going to have to lay down more color. And but it's the same concept. Okay, just remember that it's got to be just damp. And I'm going to also grab a block in case I need to lay down some color for extra fill. And then I just go back and forth and just fill it in. And then leave it alone and let it dry. You could always go back and add more. And we'll do the disclaimer here, this marker is starting to dry out. So I'm not getting a whole lot of ink out. But again, just put the color down. Damp brush, or it's actually more of a thirsty brush. And if too much water starts to flow out, use the rag to dry it up. And leave it alone. You could always go back and add more color and fix it after it dries. See, now I'm running out of water here. I don't usually squeeze for water, but I got to get the brush damp again. Okay. And now I'm going to speed it up. And I heat set this, and I grabbed the cranberry marker because I want to add some darker colors on here. And like I said before, my strawberry is drying out. Alrighty, everything's colored and cut out. And I cut everything out with the details dies. And to finish it off, I grabbed the black licorice marker. Let me take my glasses off here so you can see better. And see how there's white on the edge? Well, I want to get rid of that and finish it off, just to clean it up a little bit. So I'm going to do that for this, and I'm also going to go and do it on the edge of the wreath. So I'm just going to go around and completely cover the edges with black. And I will do this off screen now because I think you got the idea. I went ahead and cut like I said I was going to do. I finished all the black edging on the inside and the outside of the wreath. And I cut out the shadow in Spearmint and also ran it through, if you could tell, I ran it through the Kiss Cut pad to make the impression, so that way I know where this is going to lay, because what I plan on doing is I'm going to stamp with a sticky ink, and I'm going to emboss, heat emboss, probably with a gold, one of the sentiments that came with the stamp set. I haven't decided which one yet. So that's why I did that. And that way I know where to lay the stamp down, because I see the impression on the shadow. Another thing I wanted to say about this die is some of the cherries or the berries pop out. So I always put on the back double-sided adhesive to hold those in place. Now for the bow, I went and did, like I said before, I went around, did all the black edging, took the shadow, cut it out, and I also did do a little inking, as my hands can tell you. You can't get the red off now, in cranberry. So once this is all done and I get the sentiment in there, depending on how I'm going to put it, we're going to have, no, I think I want it on the bottom. We'll have the wreath, and then I can put it on a card. So let me go ahead and do that embossing and figure out what kind of card base I'm going to use on this. It's probably going to be an A2 size. It's really a big image, so it's going to take up probably the whole front of the card. So it makes for a very quick card because you don't have to add a whole lot of other things to fill it up. Okay, I went and I heat embossed the Merry Christmas on the center. So that's what it's going to look like. Now I have a question for you all, because I had a bonehead idea that did not work. I originally stamped the Merry Christmas in a red and gold ink embossing powder that I own, and it didn't come through as well as I would have liked. So I went back and restamped it and heat embossed it with the gold on top of it, and it was offset a little bit where it gave a little bit of a shadow. So I debated back and forth on whether to use it or not, because you can make out that it's Merry Christmas and you can see the shadow, and it actually kind of looks sort of cool, but I was on the fence and I wasn't sure. So, I mean, I could use this on another card, no big deal. So let me know below. Would you use this on another card? Here, let me put the the wreath on top of it. Do you think that's passable? Would you use it or scrap it? Again, I'm on the fence, so I can care less. Just let me know. I would love to know what you all think. I'm going to go ahead and glue this all together, and I'm going to embellish the berries with the dimensional ink that the TSOL Life sells. I'm going to go find the card base and cut some papers out, and I'll assemble the card and finish this video up. So let me know what you think. Should I use that other one or not? All right, let's finish up this card. I decided to use the Elegant Edge A2 card set. I'm not going to use it with the drop-ins. It's just going to be I'm going to use just this one piece. And I think that'll be really pretty. So I've cut all the pieces out, and I'm going to start assembling the card. Alrighty, that's the finished card. It's some final thoughts here. I wanted to add some shimmer to the bow. And this is a new product that the TSOL Life is carrying. And just brush it on to give it a little bit of shine. Now keep in mind that this will lift some of the color up. Okay, and the embellishment I did here was from the accompaniment set, the More Holly Wreath to stamp, and I just colored it the same way, except using water. I used the sapphire, I'm sorry, the spearmint and with the green apple, and I blended those two colors together. The only sad thing I had, I didn't have any cranberry ribbon, and this was the closest I had, which is a little off, but it's gonna have to work. Now the way I did the bottom here was very simple. I just took the layering die, cut it out, and then shifted this whole thing up, ran it through the machine, and cut the little border out. And I did the same thing for the bottom here, this bottom gold strip. And the sentiment is also from the More Holly Wreath to stamp set. And that is the finished card. Thank you for sticking by me. And again, if you like what I bring and TSOL Life products, please give me a like. It helps me a lot. I really appreciate it. And also subscribe. Have a great day, everybody, and thank you.